I can't stay away.
And I know you put that on for me. I know you put that on for me.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Y'all not hearing Brent though, bruh. Y'all not hearing him. Y'all hear that part, bro? Hold on.
I know you put that on
for me. Oh my god. Y'all see the title? Comparison of the most painful accidents in theme parks. Right? Bro, honestly, bro, I don't do roller coasters just because of this, bro. Y'all gonna see why, bro. Y'all gonna see why. Oh, what did I just do? Like, lock in.
Joshua Smurfat, 12 years old, wanted to experience freefall, and he learned what it really meant.
Bro, what?
Boy went on the
Who wants to experience freefall? Like, why would you want to experience that?
extreme ride drop zone and,
That's
at
wild.
a height of 30 meters, suddenly slipped out of his seat, plummeting headfirst.
Yo.
Joshua's mother saw her son hit the concrete ride platform with tremendous force. It was a horrific tragedy, but at least he didn't suffer if you believe the pain scale based on scientific research. Falling from a height leading to instant death scores just 3 points. Meanwhile, the highest mark is
How would you know that, though? Like, the science tested it out or what? They tested it out? No, you don't know that, bro.
140. So
I mean,
how
at the
much
same
pain
time, it's
can
just
a
like,
place meant for fun
when it's
really
done.
cause?
I don't know.
Viewer discretion is advised. June 9th, 1991, in the history of Kings Island Amusement Park in Ohio, is known as Black Sunday. Around 9 p.m., friends Timothy Benning and William Haithcote were strolling through the park's garden.
Yo, that's low-key a vibe, though, bro. What is that, though? Where'd he say it's at? Cincinnati.
Friends Timothy Benning and William Haithcote were strolling through the park's garden by the fountain pond.
That's low-key a
It was a
vibe.
hot evening, so Timothy decided to splash his friend with some water. As soon as he touched the water, his body stiffened, and he collapsed in the shallow end. Not understanding what happened, William rushed to help his friend, but
What
immediately fell into the water as well. Minutes later, Kings Island employee Daryl Robertson
Oh,
noticed
you
the
know
two
what? You know what? Electricity. Watch.
visitors strangely floating in the pond. As soon as he tried to help them, stepping into the water, he was struck by a powerful electric shock.
I knew it. What'd I
The
say?
cable powering the fountain pumps was damaged, turning the entire pond into a massive electric trap. Timothy Benning, who
Damn.
fell in first, survived, but Haithcote and Robertson, who rushed to help, died.
Damn, bruh. So damn, bro. You really gonna have to live with the guilt of that. His friends was just trying to help him, bro. That's kind of crazy.
On the pain scale, death by electric shock scores 36 points. However, amusement parks have even scarier dangers in store. On June 2nd, 1997,
See, water slides, I do.
120 teenagers arrived at San Francisco's water park.
Nah, I
Employees
I like-
suspected it
I
would
like-
be a tough day.
I
but it turned.
can't talk. I like water
a nightmare.
slides. They vibes.
The high schoolers were having a blast,
Bro,
all
but
day
like those,
celebrating their
yo, y'all know them ones that like, you gotta like, you cross your arms, bro, and you go, shoo. Nah, bro, I did that one time. Never again, bro. Bro, you can't, it goes so fast, you can't even breathe sometimes,
upcoming
bro.
graduation.
Nah.
When the administration announced
Won't
it was
catch
time
me
to
on
head
that no
back
more.
to the buses, dozens of students rushed to the Bonsai Pipeline, a 23-meter-long winding slide
that's
with
not that
multiple
bad.
tracks. A lifeguard shouted at them, saying they couldn't all go up at once for safety reasons. At least 33 of them tried to slide down together, and the slide
Why would y'all
collapsed,
do that?
sending the students plummeting. They all fell from a height of over 20 meters. 6 students
Hey,
suffered severe
that's your
injuries,
fault.
but
They told
that
you.
wasn't the worst news.
That's just because you was being
Amid the chaos
silly.
and screams after the tragedy, one detail stood out: a girl lying in a pool of blood. Her chest was practically crushed from the impact, and she died just 45 minutes later. I guess during that time, the poor girl felt agony no less than a gunshot to the chest. And that's 43 points on the pain scale. On another continent, on October 25th, 2016, a different water ride brought even more
Bro, I want to
agony
go
to
through a
its
water
visitors.
slide like that, bro. Like, really be tripping.
That day, Kate
Tripping
Goodchild,
balls.
along with her partner, Ruzi, and brother Luke, took her daughter to the popular Australian amusement park, Dreamworld.
Oh, one time, look, there was a ride like this.
Luke took her daughter to the popular Australian...
Bro, I was on a ride like this. I think it was in San Antonio. But it was like, it was this. I think it was like the Superman or something, bro. But like, you kind of just had your feet dangling down, bro. I was sobbing my eyes out, bro, because my parents, they was making me go on this. But like, when I tell you I hate roller coasters, bro, I hate them. I cannot do it. I can't. I was like crying, bro. The dude behind me, it was right here, and then there was like two behind him. Bro, that dude was getting a shower of tears.
Alien amusement park, Dream World.
I was just
Around
like,
2:20 p.m., they all went on the family ride
to this day, I'm
under
still
River
scared of
Rapids.
these, bro.
This ride is
Stuff like
essentially
this.
an artificial river where rafts with visitors move along, surrounded by exciting scenery. The top speed on this ride is 45
Hey, at every amusement park, catch me in the lazy river.
kilometers per hour, and the entire ride lasts less than 4 minutes. Kate Goodchild's family, along with another woman
this
and her
thing's
son,
kinda scary
who were in
too,
the
bro.
same raft, were about to finish this short, fun journey when they saw an obstacle ahead. Another empty raft had gotten stuck at the end of the ride, blocking the path. It seemed like nothing bad would happen until Kate and the other woman threw their children out of the raft seconds before it collided with the other one.
How would y'all
and
do
flipped
that?
over. 4 adult passengers were hurt in the collision, but were alive when they fell into the water beneath the Thunder River tracks. Park staff immediately called rescuers, stopped the ride, and started draining the water. While they were trying to drain out the artificial river, the 2 children screamed hysterically, watching their mothers slowly die. When the rescuers finally reached the trapped raft passengers, they could only confirm their deaths. All 4 adults drowned, scoring 57 points on the pain scale. But if drowning isn't even halfway up the scale,
I don't get what happened. They just like,
what the heck
I mean,
is
the waters
worse?
are kind of crazy in that thing.
On January 3rd, 1984, 48-year-old Dolly Young and her 5 friends visited California's Disneyland. Of course, they didn't miss the Matterhorn bobsleds, a legendary ride of
Yo,
that
if you really think about it, bro, that's like, it's scary, bro. Literally going to the amusement parks to have fun and then not coming back from that, bro.
time.
That's crazy.
Around 3:30 p.m., all 6 friends took their seats in the bobsleds. Young sat alone. The bobsled sped down 2 tracks that ran parallel for most of the ride. But just a few minutes into the journey, Young, for some unknown reason, couldn't hold on and fell onto the tracks. People riding the parallel tracks saw the frightened woman trying to stand up when the unthinkable happened. Another bobsled came around the corner.
Boom!
The family inside thought there was a dummy on the tracks, yet seconds later, the father screamed at his daughters to close their eyes as their sled ran over Dolly Young. The bobsled got stuck on top of her body, and only then did a special system alert the operator that something had gone terribly wrong. The worker stopped the ride, and when he came to check, he saw a horrifying scene. The bobsled wheels had run over the woman's body, decapitating her. Young passed away
Dang,
almost
bruh.
instantly on the spot. That almost was likely enough to feel pain, scoring 77 points. Yet there's something far worse on this scale, just as in the history of amusement parks.
Dang, bro.
On September 22nd,
That stuff
2000,
is so scary, bro.
6-year-old Nicholas and
It's honestly so scary.
4-year-old Brandon Zucker were the happiest kids in the world because their family was at Disneyland.
Hey, y'all ever been to Disney World, bro? I really want to, I want to go just see what it's about. But I don't know. I feel like it's overhyped at the same time. You feel me?
For the younger
Oh,
boy,
no.
a huge Disney
Just
fan,
want to see what it's about.
it was the best day of his life. The Zuckers spent the entire day having fun in the park.
I feel like
and
I feel like it's more for kids though.
After 10
So,
p.m.,
I feel
they
like
decided
it's
to
still
go
fine.
on the Roger Rabbit cartoon spin one last time. These were individual yellow taxis designed for 2 passengers that zoomed through the tunnels with vibrant decorations, spinning 360 degrees. But the Zucker brothers didn't want to be separated, so they both sat in the taxi with their mother, while their father and grandmother took the seats in the cab behind them. The kids enjoyed the ride for just a few minutes before disaster struck. When their mother leaned over to pick something up from the bottom of the taxi, Brandon fell out of the cab. Seconds later, his father saw his 4-year-old son pulled under the taxi's wheels. The man immediately rushed to help, yet he couldn't stop the ride or lift the car. It kept moving forward, dragging Brandon for about 3 meters before stopping. His family was in shock, but his father managed to call for help. Although Disneyland claimed the ride operators responded immediately, it was actually park visitors who rushed to help the child. Moreover, the ride staff forbade them from entering the tunnel. Fortunately, Police and firefighters arrived quickly and used a jack to free the boy, though he wasn't breathing. Rescuers performed CPR until paramedics took over. Miraculously, doctors managed to restore Brandon's pulse, though he had experienced clinical death, couldn't breathe on his own, and his body started turning blue from lack of oxygen. Brandon went through an ordeal similar to being buried alive, where the body desperately needs air but can't inhale due to immense pressure on the chest. Being buried alive scores 90 points on the pain scale.
Dang,
Still,
bro.
Brandon's suffering didn't end there. He sustained irreversible brain damage and can no longer walk or talk. Despite his and his family's efforts, Brandon passed away at age 13. Yet his tragedy wasn't the only one Disneyland would like to.
Bro, like I'm saying, just imagine going to a theme park just to have fun. Just don't, like, just ruin it. Just like ruins your life after that. Bro.
Erase from history.
It's wild.
On July 8, 1974, Debbie Stone, a college student, was incredibly happy as she headed to work, planning to get engaged. She worked as a hostess on the new popular show.
Engaged at 18 is crazy. Never catch me. Never catch me. Don't catch me. You're not gonna catch me.
America Sings at Disneyland.
You're not gonna catch me like that.
Featured individual musical numbers
You don't
performed
catch
on
me like that,
rotating
bro.
stages.
People
To
play too
change
much these
scenes,
days,
the
man.
walls on the left side moved toward each other
Play too
and
much.
closed, separating one stage from another.
The heck?
6 such stages rotated in turn, with the hostess greeting the audience at the start of the show
I got too
and
much
bidding
energy
them
right now,
farewell
fam.
at the end. That evening, Debbie Stone had this
Y'all hear
role.
this good?
Around 10:30 p.m., as the previous show was ending and the stages were changing positions, a visitor heard a chilling scream. It was clear this wasn't part of the show, so ride operators rushed to the theater and saw a horrifying scene.
What happened?
Debbie Stone had been crushed between the walls of 2 stages. I think after such a tragedy, most bones in the body would be broken and internal organs damaged. On the pain scale, this
That's
would be
probably
almost
like,
identical to being.
Yo, that's probably the worst way to go out, bro. That's some Saw shit right there, bro. That's some not Saw. Jigsaw is Saw, right? It's the same thing. That's some Jigsaw shit, bro. Damn. Bro, I'm doing everything in my might to push push that off me, bro. I don't even know. I could not, bro. I feel like that's the worst way to go.
Caught
Bro. You
alive
just like
in a
you
meat
watching your
grinder,
day, like
scoring
you
96
can't do nothing,
points.
bro.
We're almost at the last maximum point on this scale, but there are still 2 terrifying stops along the way I want to tell you about. The star
I wonder what the
attraction of
maximum point is, bro. Cause like getting crushed is kind of like, I feel like that's the worst way to go out. Like
Luna Park
slowly,
City
just like
in the 1970s was the Ghost
that's
Train.
wild.
There was always a massive line for it. So it's no surprise that brothers Craig and Damian Godson decided to use their last tickets on this ride late in the evening.
last tickets
On
out
June
of
9th, 1979.
Yo, last tickets is out of pocket,
When
bro.
the line was almost gone, their dad, John, joined them while their mom, Jenny, opted to grab some ice cream and wait for them at the exit. Little did she know, this decision would be fateful. Around 35 passengers boarded the Ghost Train that night. They all set off into dark tunnels, filled with eerie decorations and special effects. That day, the smell of smoke and a creepily realistic fire in the fireplace added to the atmosphere. 4 13-year-olds were especially thrilled by the scares. Unlike their 12-year-old friend, Jason, the ride operator pulled Jason out of the
He look
car
like
just
he'll
before it
bite your ankle, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Bro.
entered the
He look like he'll leave a he'll take a mean ass chunk out your ankle, bro. I ain't gonna
friend,
lie.
Jason. The ride operator pulled Jason out of the car just before it entered the tunnel. The kid protested, but a moment
Oh,
later,
y'all know my teeth used to be like that, bro. I deadass used to have a gap like that, like that shit right there. But it was like that same exact gap too, bro. It's kind of crazy.
Jason out of the car just
Hey,
before it
braces
entered
save
the tunnel.
lives, though.
The kid protested, but a moment later realized he'd been saved from a real-life nightmare. Right then, black clouds of smoke appeared at both ends of the tunnel. At first, the riders thought the smoke was part of the special effects, as was the small fire from the blaze. When they realized what was happening, they started jumping out of the cars and running. By around 10:30 p.m., the ride was completely engulfed in flames. Jenny Godson
Yo, I take it back. Beam burned alive. Dang, that's gonna look.
wringing
it's gonna
her
be this much.
hands, hoped to see her husband and sons escape the trap. Jason Holman stood nearby, looking out for his friends. Unfortunately, they all got lost in the dark tunnels meant to scare them and burned alive.
Dang.
On the pain scale, death by fire rates about 100 and...
Yo, being burned alive is... I take that back, bro. That's kind of worse than this. Ooh. You know, I would have thought, like, this would be that. But dang.
1 points.
Being burned
But you
alive,
know what
I
I'm
like
going to
that.
say next. Theme park visitors have endured events more painful than any mentioned so far.
What can be more painful, though, bro? What can
Teenager
be more
Caitlin
painful? I'm
Lassiter
scared.
spent a hot June day in 2007 at the Six Flags Kentucky Kingdom with her friends. There, they had a ride similar to the one Joshua Smurfat fell from, which I mentioned at the beginning. Superman, Tower of Power, stood 54 meters tall and reached speeds of 67 kilometers per hour. The essence was the same, lifting people in seats up and then dropping them down, braking just before hitting the ground.
See, I would never ride something like this, bro. Because that's so easy to fail, bro. The thing, imagine it's going down and the cord that, like, holds them up, kind of, it just snaps.
Caitlin
Boom!
and her friend
You're
enjoyed
dead.
their first ride on Superman,
What just
Tower of Power,
How did it
and
start?
surprisingly, decided to go again since there was no line. However, the second ride turned into a catastrophe as the seats rose just 6.
That's crazy, bro. If they would have just left, nothing would have happened. But they wanted to go again. It's wild. It's crazy how, like, the universe works, bro. Because that would have altered time reality, bro. This video wouldn't have been over the subject. Over this whatever you call it. That would have happened. They would have lived to have happily ever after. All that. But they decided to go again. Isn't that crazy how that works, bro? Isn't that
meters. A terrible noise
That's
and
so
sound
crazy.
like a whip crack was heard near the ride.
What'd
The
I
next
say?
second, a cable fell on the
What
girl
did I say?
around Caitlin's torso and neck. The teen screamed, yet the seats kept rising. Only when smoke appeared near the tower and the air filled with the acrid smell of burning did people around panic. It took the operator 10 more seconds to hit the emergency stop button, but it was too late. The seats with passengers plummeted downward. Caitlin managed to remove the cable from her neck and torso. Still, it wrapped around her legs, and within seconds, it severed both her feet above the ankles. Doctors miraculously saved not just the girl, but also
survived?
her right leg. Despite this, she effectively endured the traumatic amputation of both legs, scoring 110 points on the pain scale. But if losing both limbs and even your head isn't the worst on this scale,
Dang, bruh. She survived. Imagine how traumatic that is, bro. I feel like burning alive is still worse than that, though. Cause like you literally melting,
what hits a
bro.
record
Like,
140 points?
burning alive.
Unfortunately, this was felt firsthand by an 11-year-old girl.
Dang, bro. And it's
On
all
March
kids,
7th,
too. You gotta think
2016,
about it.
Elizabeth
Like, the kids going through
Gilreath
this.
visited a festival
See,
in
bro, like,
Omaha,
this is a
Nebraska
sweet old girl, man. She went through like
with her family.
crazy.
Of course, the rides were what fascinated her the most. Among them was the centrifuge ride called Royal Crown, which
And
Elizabeth
this little
eagerly
ass
rode.
ride too, bro. This little ass ride is literally
Among
the
them
reason.
was the centrifuge
Crazy.
ride called Royal Crown, which Elizabeth eagerly rode with other kids. Soon, the fun turned into a nightmare. Elizabeth slipped from her seat, and her long hair got caught in the ride's mechanism. These
my
torturous moments lasted for several minutes until Elizabeth fell to the floor of the centrifuge. A bystander rushed to help, but first had to stop the ride with her bare hands, as it kept spinning even after being turned off. When she reached Elizabeth, she realized the girl had been scalped. Skinning alive is considered one of the most horrific forms of torture,
Oh
scoring
my
a
God.
record-breaking 140 on the pain scale.
Did she survive?
I'll add here that Elizabeth survived.
She
and
survived.
doctors
Oh my God.
managed to partially save the skin on her head.
That is wild, bruh. That is wild. Oh my God. It's like, just imagine her whole. Ugh!
She's learning to embrace her new self. I wish
Hey, at
none of
least
these
she's like-
disasters
she
had
got-
happened.
At least she got a smile. on
But
her
if you
face,
want to
bro.
know about the dangers
That
lurking,
is crazy, bro. It's literally scalped. I don't know, bro. Okay, I feel like scalp. I feel like that would be the worst. Yeah, scalp, and then burned alive, and then the getting your legs amputated type shit. Oh my God.
without experiencing
Oh, that's scary, bro. Oh my God. That is scary.